Hello everyone, Victor Assad here. I am the author of Hack Recruiting, and I'm very excited to be with Imo Udom. Imo started Wepow, which is video interviewing and pre-recorded video interviewing. I really love this technology. It's in Hack Recruiting, and he's going to tell us about it. But before he does, my message in Hack Recruiting to everyone in HR and recruiting is that the digital age has hit recruiting. HR now has the same tools available to it that marketing has had to build brand, find new clients, build relationships with those clients, and attract them to the company. We can do that with recruiting, but technology is not a silver bullet. There's great technologies out there. We also have to make sure we have great processes, everyone's trained to their role in the process, great measures, and we do a great job interviewing. But now back to Imo. Imo, when we first met, you had started Wepow. It was growing, doing wonderful. You had a wonderful success story with several companies, but Adidas comes to mind. So tell us a little bit about yourself, why you started your company, and some of your latest successes.
Thank you, Victor. Yeah, so as you mentioned, we started Wepow probably in 2011 was our official launch. And it was born out of some experiences I had and my co-founders had in our previous lives. So I remember very clearly, I used to work at Lockheed Martin. I was part of an engineering leadership development program. And what we did there is we went back to our universities to help recruit new people into the program. So as a side thing, we wanted to attract people to this special program. And so I got my feet wet a little bit with campus recruiting. And wow, I was amazed at how enjoyable it was being on campus.
Yes.
But the challenge of coming back to the office with a pile of resumes and trying to remember who is who. So I thought there must be a better way. Ultimately, when we thought about what we were trying to do, we were trying to connect with people at Lockheed.
Right.
And so when we built Wepow, we said, how can we help organizations connect with talent at scale? And enter our video interviewing platform, really focused on the pre-recorded solution. You mentioned Adidas, one of our early adopters of our technology. What they were trying to do is they realized the number of people applying to their jobs was increasing so much. It was difficult for recruiters to do all the phone interviews, remember who was who, take notes on everybody, and communicate that clearly to the hiring manager.
I can relate to that.
Absolutely. So what we did and what they were able to achieve with our pre-record technology, one of the best beauties of it is that it allows you to time shift or to enable people to answer questions on their own time. So recruiters are freed up to spend time with getting to know candidates as opposed to scheduling phone interviews. And remember one specific story I had from a recruiter is, now with the technology, I'm able to build a consistent virtual interview once in the platform with the same 5 to 10 questions I typically ask on a phone interview. And then I send that out to applicants and they answer on their own time. So in the early days, they invited, I think it was December 7th or so, they invited about 250 candidates.
This is Adidas now.
Adidas, correct. They invited about 250 candidates who were applying for a digital role within their business. And within 10 days, I think by December 17th, they had about 240 responses.
That's terrific.
And that was magical.
That was great.
You can't phone interview 240 people in 10 days. In December, near the holidays. And so that's when it really clicked for me that we're actually really enabling organizations and candidates to connect at scale and giving them an opportunity to be more effective.
Okay, terrific. That is great. Now, it's been a year since I've interviewed you for Hack Recruiting. It takes a while to publish a book, let me tell you. And so tell us about the technology upgrades that you've made since then.
Absolutely. When we first started Wepow, it was more of a tool, right? We're trying to provide some efficiency to recruiters. Over the years, it evolved into a platform. And now we're looking at video interviewing's primary focus was efficiency and engagement, making the process faster, adding content and videos to help engage candidates. Over the last couple months, since you've seen me, we've been adding elements of data and elements of IO psychology. We started saying, how can we use our interviewing platform to help organizations ask the right type of questions against competencies that are important for the right types of roles. And so that's a lot of what we're doing, is working to enhance the interview experience, provide content so we're asking the right thing and understanding candidates. And now we're looking at adding a lot of machine learning technology, specifically natural language processing, to take the responses, what people are actually saying, and seeing if that aligns with what an organization is looking for in terms of skills for a particular job. So it's to do that well, Victor, takes some time. So we're still in the process of that. We're starting to find some really interesting results. But that's what we plan to roll out. How do we help organizations take what someone's saying and interpret and understand? Does that really help you identify a competency or a skill set for a particular role?
Let me ask you a follow-up question to that. And so when AI moves into this area, or machine learning, there's always the question about bias.
Absolutely.
And so what precautions or what evidence are you collecting to make sure these additional technology improvements you're adding don't lead to bias?
Absolutely. Great question, Victor. And it's something that's really near and dear to my heart, right? As an African American, as a black man, coming to space, I've been really cognizant of that. So now we're part of the OutMatch family, and the OutMatch has a steep history in data and analytics and assessments. We've really worked hard over years to understand what are behaviors, what are skills, what are traits that are effective for certain roles. So when we look at machine learning for us, we're actually starting from a position of IO psychology and job competency fit, right? And so that's years of validation.
It is. I'm glad you're starting there.
Yeah, that's the place to start. Then the second thing we think about is, yes, we're a video company as Wepow, but the video piece is not as important here. We're really trying to look for, what are people saying? And, does that demonstrate the answer to a question? Does it demonstrate a level of skill or experience to the candidate? And when we do this, our goal is not to mark a candidate as this move forward or not move forward. What we're trying to do is actually just, in an easy, transparent way, help recruiters identify attributes. So we're not trying to solve the problem, and I think that's the key here. If you look at machine learning and hiring, what we call black box approaches that give you an answer, not the best thing. When you think about glass box approaches that help identify things and just say, here are some things we're seeing, take a second look, those are key, and that's what's important.
So I forgot to turn off my phone, so if you can hear that, disregard that. So who's the ideal client for your company?
So we work with a number of different organizations across industry. What we tend to see is companies that are either mid-size and growing or large global enterprises tend to use our technology. And part of the reason why is they're just getting so many applicants and feeling that pain and burden of being able to connect. And that's where we come in. Our technology makes the process more efficient and effective. So again, mid-sized companies that are growing, and definitely those large enterprises that have a lot of applicants.
Excellent. Well, what advice do you have for HR leaders and organizations looking for technology?
I think the biggest thing that I like to advise people is, what problem are you trying to solve? Right? Technology can really help you be more effective as an organization, but focusing on the technology itself can sometimes lead to trip-ups. A good one is AI or machine learning. AI is really hot. Sometimes we get calls from people asking, do you have AI? And I always say, pause, let's think about it. AI is just a technology. What are you actually trying to solve for? And can we enable you or help you achieve that goal first? So understanding what you're trying to solve for is number one. And think about the technology as a solution as opposed to the answer. The other thing I would advise is, technology does not have to be scary. I think if you look at old school, traditional applicant tracking systems, HRIS systems, a lot of people have scars from having to deal with those. But in the modern era, a lot of technology has been made with people in mind.
Yeah.
Ease of use, candidate experience, simplicity. Yeah. These are all values that are important to us. And so what we try to help educate organizations on, if you're going to do something with us, we can work with you to make sure that we're picking a team or individuals that are more open to trying out new technology, and also to educate you, and we can get you up and running fairly quickly. And it's being built in a way that your teams can adopt it.
I like that. Terrific. Well, what is next for your organization?
Absolutely. We're going through a tremendous time here. As I said, we're now part of the OutMatch family. And the beauty of that is OutMatch is really building an entire platform, right? We have a suite of solutions with a real focus on how do we help organizations take data, connect with people, and then understand how to impact their business results across the spectrum.
Okay.
So where before we were playing in the pure selection space, interviewing, selecting, now we have the ability to look across talent selection, talent development, and even into what we call talent creation. What behaviors and attributes are we learning about people that can help an organization develop them better? Help an organization match the person with their purpose.
Right.
So that's the future for us, right? Taking that broader view and helping to impact both our customers and the people, the candidates, in a way that we haven't been able to before.
That's terrific. What I like about that, and what I believe we're heading to with HR, is that digital technology and the use of machine learning is going to help us better understand, as Imo said, the attributes that truly drive innovation and performance. Right. And once you understand that, you can have a more success looking for others to join your organization that have those attributes. That's terrific.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for being a part of this podcast series, and continued success to you.
Thank you very much, Victor.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. If you've not had an opportunity to check out Hack Recruiting, please do so. And we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.